What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former unified lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is now 17 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 13 wins by way of knockout. He is 25 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He had an interesting take. He made his debut at the 140-pound junior welterweight limit division now, and he beat Pedro Campo to do so. Got a 7th round knockout victory over Pedro Campo, and you know, he's looking for bigger things. He's scheduled to come back December 10th at Madison Square Garden, New York. With that said, Teofimo Lopez had an interesting take when it comes to mental health and fighters today's time who deal with such a situation, like 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia, most recently 4-division world champion superstar boxer Adrien Broner, and in between both of those you had undefeated lightweight junior welterweight Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia, who recently pulled out a fight. Well, last year he pulled out a fight June of 2021. He was scheduled to fight Javier Fortuna in July, and he pulled out the fight and cited that he was dealing with mental health issues. Most recently, Adrien Broner was supposed to fight, you know, against Omar Figueroa Jr., but Adrien Broner, he pulled out of his fight, okay, citing mental health issues. So these are real things. Now, what's interesting is there's a bit of contradiction here with what Teofimo Lopez has to say in regards to this, because he states that there's no such thing as mental health issues, that you just got to go out there and do it and trust in higher powers, right? But in the same token, he states that before his loss to former unified lightweight world champion Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr. back in November 27th of 2021, that he was going through mental health issues, and he was struggling with the fact that, you know, he had relationship issues with, you know, his significant other, and that he couldn't see his child. And then, you know, leading up to right now to this fight, he said he still hadn't seen his child for the last 2 months. So he said that he was dealing with mental health issues, right? But then in the same token, he says that, you know, there's no such thing, right? And he says you just got to trust in higher power. Now, this is a huge thing, because when Errol Spence, undefeated, unified, 3-belt WBC, WBA, IBF, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, with a record of 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. When Errol Spence responded to Danny Swift Garcia, saying that a big part of the reason Danny Garcia lost to Errol Spence was because he wasn't mentally focused and he was going through mental health issues, that, you know, that was a big part of the reason why Danny Garcia wasn't successful. And Errol Spence responded and said, stop using it as an excuse, you just lost, right? And Danny Garcia, he responded by saying, you know, this is a real thing, so on and so forth. You know, I gave you credit for the victory. And Errol Spence got a lot of kickback. A lot of people wasn't happy with Errol Spence's comments, right? And when Errol Spence and fighters like Errol Spence make comments in response to situations like this, they get a lot of negative feedback, right? A lot of kickback. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if Teofimo Lopez, who had this to say, received the same thing.
Things are possible with God. Like I said before, with God, anything's possible. And I'm just focused on that now. Tell me about resonating with something with Danny Garcia a few weeks ago. You know, he kind of like spoke for fighters. Listen, like, even like what Odell said, and I think he got a lot of backlash out of it. You just got to go and do it, man. There ain't no mental issues out there. You just got to go out there and do it. You got to just rely on God. Whoever your God is, rely on that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the universe, all those things, rely on that and just eat it up, man. Life is going to be hard regardless, but choose your heart.
So you heard what he had to say. He said there's no such thing, right? it doesn't exist out there. Well, contrary to popular belief, it does exist. And it is a real thing. And it's not just about life being hard. And it's not just about, you know, tying your boots up, you know, putting on your britches and just treading through the mud and just do what you got to do, right? That's not what it's about. That old school mentality is long gone, okay? That's the old school mentality that, you know, people used to say, oh, everybody dealt with that. Just, you know, it's just tough. You just got to go ahead and go through it. And no, that's not true. You need help. There's professionals that can help you, and people need help. So to say that this is not, you know, a real thing is irresponsible to the people that's suffering and going through it. And the fact that he himself just stated that, you know, it's not a real thing. When he just stated that, just less than a minute, he said that he himself was going through it. So it sounds like somebody convinced him and told Teofimo Lopez, listen, you just got to deal with it. You just got to get stronger. You just got to focus and tread through the mud. That's what it seems like to me. That's the advice he got, and that's his way of coping, his method of dealing. And, you know, he's taking that and he's telling the public that it's not real. Again, that's irresponsible for him to do, because it's so real that we lose people every single day because of it. So again, he couldn't be no more irresponsible than with the comments that he made. And he, like he said, he was going through it. When he lost to George Kambosos Jr., he had 10,000 reasons why he lost to George Kambosos Jr. And one of the main reasons was his situation and issues going through with his children's mother, and that he couldn't stay focused. Well, that's the real thing. And so again, like I said, when it comes to Danny Garcia, after the fight, his post-fight, when Danny Garcia made his ring return, since losing December 5th of 2020 to Errol Spence, Danny Garcia made his ring return against Jose Benavidez Jr. A few months ago, and at the end of the fight, you can clearly see, you know, the emotion, Danny breaking down in the ring after the fight because of all the things he's been through, right? Trying to deal with the invisible monster, because that's what it is, right? Nobody can see what you're going through. Only you can feel what you're going through, okay? Nobody can see it. Only you know what you're going through, right? You can tell as many people as you want and try to describe what you're going through to as many people as you can. But again, only you can see it, right? And it's a very difficult thing to deal with. And so with that said, you know, for Teofimo Lopez that claimed to have experienced this, to say that there's no such thing is irresponsible, right? And Ryan Garcia, he gets his situation, he gets, you know, negative feedback because people feel like he's just using it to avoid fights, right? Big fights, because he calls out these big name fighters and they never materialize, they never come to fruition. And when he stated that he wanted to fight Javier Fortuna and then he didn't fight Javier Fortuna, it's like, then he used that as a reason. Then after that, he said he broke his hand. Then after that, you know, it was something different, you know. So that's why Ryan Garcia gets, you know, the Boy That Cried Wolf label and tag, you know, instead of sympathy universally. And the same goes for Adrien Broner, because Adrien Broner has not been disciplined, right, in the past. And because of him, his lack of discipline, Adrien Broner doesn't get the sympathy worldwide, universally, because people just feel like Adrien Broner is just using it because he's not focused, he's not dedicated, he's not locked in, he's not committed to the sport, and he's out of shape. And so because of that, you know, Adrien Broner, you know, gets the same label and tag, the Boy That Cried Wolf, right? And so with that said, you know, you can't tell people what they're mentally going through. You just can't. It's an invisible opponent. It's not a physical opponent. It's invisible. It's you dealing with you. The only physical opponent that you're dealing with these situations is the person that you're looking at in the mirror. That's the only opponent you see, is the one you see in the mirror every morning. And so because of that, you know, again, I can't reiterate this enough. It's irresponsible on the part of Teofimo Lopez, and you know, he should educate himself more on this situation, on this topic. And I think that, you know, I think that, you know, he would definitely benefit from it. So December 10th looked like Teofimo Lopez could be back in the ring. It looked like they was trying to set up a fight with Teofimo Lopez and Jose Cepeda, but Jose Cepeda is going to be fighting Regis Prograis, and now it looks like they was trying to set up a fight with him, and he already knocked out Richard Comey. But Pedraza and Richard Comey just fought. It looked like they was trying to set up a fight with Jose Pedraza and Teofimo Lopez, but Pedraza and Comey fought. If Pedraza would have won the fight, they would have made a fight. That would have been his opponent for December 10th. But because Pedraza is a Puerto Rican fighter, New York City has a huge population, Puerto Rican population. So what better way than to put on a fight between Pedraza and Teofimo Lopez, right? But that didn't play out because Pedraza drew with Richard Comey, so it didn't work out that way. So we got to see who his next opponent is going to be December 10th, but he'll be back in the ring December 10th, Madison Square Garden, which is Heisman weekend. That's traditional for Teofimo Lopez and his team. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.